Hey guys, it's Sam and I just want to make a really quick video about pink and how to make pink using watercolor, specifically when you don't have any pink paint. So if you want to do paintings with like sakura trees or something else, you'll be able to do so without needing some sort of pink paint. For some people this might be a really easy thing to do, but for me I kind of struggled with figuring it out. So I took my palette, which is Grumbascher. It's kind of an old palette. I don't know if they sell this anymore, but these are the colors that it comes with. These are the only ones I have. I'm kind of limited when it comes to being able to make, well, limited in a very light sense, because you can still do a lot with these 11 because this is just white colors, but I do end up using all of these colors to try and make a variety of different pinks. The main base for all of these pinks that I made are alizarin, hopefully I'm saying that right, crimson, and also cadmium red light hue. These are just the paints that I have, but don't make that a sort of limitation like you have to have these paints in order to make pink colors. I just didn't know how to make pinks with the pinks that or with the reds that I have, so using the reds that you have, whatever you have, I suggest trying to do similar things to what I did to try and figure out how to make pink. So using the alizarin with the cadmium red light hue, I just added in a bunch of water. I also tried out my burnt sienna. This is pure burnt sienna, pure alizarin crimson, and pure cadmium red light. So this is just adding a lot of water, which is a very quick and easy way to get a pink color if you have a red. So mix any of your reds with a ton of water and you can get kind of a light red pink looking color. Next here are just more paint mixed in with the water to kind of get a more accurate look of what the colors look like, a little bit stronger. Down below it, I just mixed alizarin crimson plus the cadmium red light, and I got this pink. So these are all obviously various shades of pinks. They get a little bit purpley or a little bit orange, but yeah, it's basically I took every single color in my palette, mixed a ton of water to get it really light, and a little bit of the other color. So for example, burnt sienna, mixed in some burnt sienna with the alizarin and the burnt sienna with some cadmium red light. And these are all mixing just two colors, so you can definitely get a wider range of colors if you mix more than two on top of mixing two together. So had I mixed the alizarin crimson with the cad red light, maybe plus a phthalo blue, I would have gotten a different color. So down in this corner, things get a little bit more orange. This is where I mixed in my cad yellow pale hue and my yellow ochre. So if you're looking for something that's like a light orange or like a peach salmon color, this is pretty good for you. And again, if you don't have these colors or if you have similar colors, like all I did was just take the day, take some time, take a spare sheet of paper and just sort of see what happens. Mix all these colors together and just lay out a sort of palette. And I think that's the best way to sort of find what colors you can mix together to make what. So that was what I was experimenting with to try and get these various pinks. So over here we have phthalo blue at the top. So this first phthalo blue, I thought I made it a little bit too purple, so I added a little bit more alizarin in there. And then here is it with the cad red light. Below that, similar thing, but with the ultramarine. I thought I made it a little bit too purple, so I added a little bit more alizarin, and then over here is just cad red light with the ultramarine. And hey, why not experiment a little bit? I decided to try using greens, and I used sap green, so here's alizarin, and then here's the cadmium red light with sap green. So not too bad of a more maybe warmer, desaturated sort of pinky color. Then below that, same thing, but just with Viridian this time. This one's probably my favorite, though again, it depends on the situation, the lighting, whatever you're painting, all these colors could be used at some point. But just this one in particular, I think I was a little surprised by, is the cadmium yellow deep with alizarin, so this color, and then also the same, this cad yellow deep with the cad red light. I know my palette organization or my swatching organization is not the best doing this on the spot on a live stream, so don't think I forgot these four. So this top one is Payne's Gray. Just wanted to see what happened. I had extra paper at the time, extra space to use, so figured I might as well use my Payne's Gray and my Chinese white. Just a little heads up, Chinese, or not Chinese white specifically, but white in general is usually something that more professional watercolor artists would tell you to sort of stray away from, or more experienced watercolor artists would tell you to stray away from, just because it kind of makes your paint a little bit more opaque. I don't think it's a bad thing to experiment with, but just keep in mind, it doesn't just tint your color, it will also make your colors more opaque. So when you kind of have multiple things painted on your paper, and then you suddenly bring in something with white, it's going to kind of bring in a bit of a different texture, a different look to it. So just a heads up that if you decide to use white, I have nothing wrong with people wanting to use white, but if you decide to use it, just be mindful, experiment, play around, that sort of thing. So yeah, really simple. Just kind of wanted to quickly talk about how I made some of these pinks in case somebody else out there is struggling to try and make pink. Like poor me, I was struggling to try and make pink. I wanted to try and, you know, do some sakura trees, do some more tree practice, and just play around with colors that I don't normally paint with. That was the point of this experimentation. So whatever colors you have on your palette, don't feel like you need to get these colors. Just experiment with what you have. If you have some other sort of reds, just see what you can do with it. Just, you know, add a lot of water, mix in some different colors, and make your own swatches, and experiment from there. You can definitely make a lot of different pinks with just a few colors. And keep in mind, again, this is only mixing 2 colors each, so mixing in additional colors, you can make a whole variety, and obviously different amounts. As you can tell with the phthalo blue and the ultramarine, mixing in more of the blues versus more of the reds, you're going to get different results. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any sort of secret methods to get pink or your favorite sort of combination to get pinks, let me know in the comments down below. If you'd like to see some more watercolor experimentations, I often do them on live streams on Twitch. I'll put a link in the description if you'd like to join there. And if you'd like a closer look at this chart, I'll go ahead and post it on my Patreon, so I'll post a link to that as well in the description. So lots of things in the description. Go check it out. So thanks so much for watching. Bye!